All right, guys, I will get on. I'm going to get on here pretty quick. Hopefully, I'll be able to answer some of the questions that I have received from some of these videos or lives that I've been posting lately. If not, you can just continue to send me a quick, PM, DM, whatever you want to call it, or send a text. All right, so let's get right into it. Let's jump right into it. As you can see in the caption below, and if you have any questions, just feel free to drop them in the comment section. So today what we're going to be talking about are steam treatments. We talked about trims, and we're also going to be talking about the difference between relaxers and perms. All right, no, relaxers and texturizers. Sorry about that. I can touch on perms too, but that's not what we're talking about. So I've gotten a lot of questions about steam treatments, the benefits of steam treatments. So let me explain to you what steam treatments are. Regardless of your texture, you can definitely receive a steam treatment. Now, what the steam treatment does, so what it actually does, it actually opens up the follicle of the hair, which means the way I like to explain it to my clients is kind of like having shingles on top of your roof, all right? So what happens is, have you guys ever noticed that sometimes it's so hard to, if you have conditioner, if you're using a certain product and it's sometimes so hard, feels like that you're just kind of oversaturating your hair, that it just never absorbs, right? So that means that your hair needs a steam treatment. And again, what that steam treatment will do, it will open up the follicle, lift up the cuticle layer of the hair, and actually allow those treatments, your conditioners and other sorts of treatments, to penetrate onto each strand of the hair. In return, what's that going to help with? That's going to actually help with, when you do apply your products, it's going to allow your products to, or your hair to receive that actual moisture. It's going to be able to, any product that you're pushing in is going to allow it to absorb it much better. Also, the benefits of the steam treatment will also help to promote growth. Yes, that's right. So that moisture actually stimulates blood flow, which is actually going to help, like I said, promote growth in the hair. It's also going to help soften the hair. So if you're feeling like your hair is a little bit crunchy, dry, thirsty, especially you curly girls, or even if you have color treated hair, try doing a steam treatment, talking with your stylist about doing a steam treatment. It will actually help to soften that hair as well. Let's see, another one of the questions that I've gotten, and I'm looking at my little notes here because I don't want to miss anything. Let's talk about trims. I think I pretty much have talked about this before, but if you're not sure how often you should get a trims, I recommend at least every 6 weeks. Also, if you are not seeing a stylist, I would say at least try to get into seeing a professional stylist into the salon at least every 3 months, okay? It is so important that you trim your ends. A lot of times when I see clients, mainly new clients, my clients are pretty much on a great regimen, so we're not having this issue. But if you're trying to really grow your hair out, you've got to get it trimmed. It's simply the same way as if you're pruning a flower or anything like that to promote that growth. You've got to clip away dead ends, split ends, what we like to call them here at Stylist, is to call them split ends. Split ends simply is just like, ladies, if you know, it's kind of like a pantyhose run. Once it started, it just continues to travel all the way up. So just make sure that you're getting your trims. Again, this is Tish's suggestion, every 6 weeks. If you are not doing that every 6 weeks, definitely at least try to visit a stylist. Go into finding yourself a salon, and at least every 3 months getting that done, okay? Now let's talk about the difference between a relaxer and texturizers and smoothing treatments. Now, if you are on your natural kick and you're saying I just want to be all chemical free, then definitely I would not recommend a relaxer. A relaxer is a straightener. So it is, well, it is. It will, the benefits of a relaxer, and I'm not against relaxers or anything like that. I do some, majority of the time. This is what I call a quick relaxer, or I'm just really focusing on the perimeter sides and the back of the head. So what a relaxer does, a relaxer is simply meant to relax the natural curl of the hair. However, when you are relaxing your hair, a lot of times I've seen a lot of ladies, they feel like, I want my hair to just be bone straight. When you do take that relaxer and that hair is completely blown straight, that means you've taken completely all the texture out of the hair, which is why you need to go back in and make sure you are rebuilding using your reconstructor and things like that to rebuild that hair that you've just broken down. Now, a relaxer. Now, relaxer is a little bit milder, okay? So what that is also meant to do, that is meant to relax the natural curl. It is also meant to smooth. It is also meant to defrizz. Now, if you are a short girl, a short hair client, and we are still trying to make sure that we keep you natural, but we're still doing waves and curls and things of that nature. In order to get your finger waves and things like that, we are going to have to apply maybe something like a texturizer, and again, that's just really going to help to relax that natural curl so that we can go in and do those nice waves, and also so that your hair will hold that nice style. Okay, now if you're completely natural, I cannot make a wave. That hair is just going to revert back on me, and it's just not going to lay down. Okay, so you either need to decide whether or not you want to use the relaxer or if you want to use a texturizer. Okay, now like I said, there are various types of relaxers. So if you guys are getting these from beauty supply stores, over the counter, wherever it is, make sure that you're looking on the back of them and making sure that these box products are up to date. You have a thio relaxer, then you have an alkaline, which is basically a lye relaxer. Again, I don't want to go into too much detail because typically stylists will know what I'm referring to when I say thio and then a lye relaxer. Typically, the relaxers that you guys will see that you're purchasing out of your store are lye relaxers, okay? So those are going to be much more stronger to the hair, so you really want to make sure that you are rinsing that completely out of your hair, okay? You do not want to allow that relaxer to sit where you are feeling like your head is, oh, okay, it's really doing what it needs to do because now I'm burning. That just makes no sense to me. Actually, if you're having to purchase one from the store, I would highly suggest that you find you a stylist and make sure that you are applying that relaxer correctly, okay? A lot of times, especially with new clients, I can automatically tell if they've used a relaxer or if they've had a bad experience with some sort of at-home treatment. Typically, the hair will be hard, very crunchy, over-processed hair. And that will require a cut of some sort in order to repair that hair. Okay, you also want to make sure that when you are doing your relaxers that you are not over-processing. So, and we learned this, stylists know this, and of course, I'm just trying to help us ladies out. So when you are applying your relaxers, ladies, your relaxer should never go from root all the way to the end. The only time that you should be applying a relaxer all the way completely through, that means from root all the way in, is if your hair is completely virgin, okay? If you are doing that and you've already had this chemical before, because a relaxer is a chemical, anything that changes the natural bond of the hair is a chemical. So if you are applying those relaxers at home and you are applying it all over the hair, then you are basically over processing your hair. When you are doing your relaxer retouches, make sure that you're only applying on your retouch, your new growth, okay? Do not pull that relaxer all the way out to the ends of the hair, okay? Smoothing treatments. I know you guys see a lot of times of me doing smoothing treatments. I love the smoothing treatments because it allows my clients to have that versatility. It also allows them to decide whether or not to embrace their natural curls or to make sure that they're going to continue to be defrizzed. It's also going to allow them their hair to be nice and smooth. And also healthy at the same time. So I love my smoothing treatments because it just does give my clients that that ability to decide whether or not they want to be curly or whether or not they want to go ahead and blow their hair out. I do highly recommend it if you are looking to grow your hair to definitely look into a smoothing treatment of some sort. But the main point of this live video was just to answer some of those questions that I've received in my inbox. So I just wanted to make sure that I end those. So let me recap. Okay, again, so if you are wondering how often should you have your ends trimmed, your ends should be trimmed every 6 weeks. If you're not able to get them trimmed every 6 weeks, at least find a stylist or go into someone's salon at least every 3 months, okay? Steam treatments, the benefits of a steam treatment. So again, remember I said it helps to open up the hair follicle of the hair, lifts up the cuticle. If you are struggling with dry, wondering why your hair just seems to absorb product, doesn't have that shine, doesn't have that movement, that probably means that your cuticle needs to be opened up, your follicle, and push your good steam treatment in there. Now, I do want to mention this because a lot of times I hear this a lot of times with clients. Well, I'm using an oil. An oil is a sealant. So that means that anytime you go in and you're putting that oil onto your scalp, you are basically closing that scalp, that cuticle, that follicle. You're just basically closing it up. You're saying, I don't want anything else to go into it. It's a sealant, okay? If you're using a shine spray or anything like that, that's definitely basically what it is. It's meant to just give that hair a natural, a shine, an illusion of a shine. So an oil cannot moisturize your scalp. The only way you can moisturize your scalp is going to produce its own moisture. That's if that scalp is open and it's able to absorb your conditioner. So that's why it's so also important that you get your steam treatments, okay? Again, we talked about the steam treatments will also help to promote growth because that moisture will allow that more of that blood flow to open up to each hair strand, allowing and pushing and promoting growth, all right? I think that's all that I had. And again, let me go back over relaxers versus texturizers. Again, a relaxer is pretty much a straightener. They're all chemicals, relaxers or texturizers. If you are a client, or if you have a short style and you're wondering, or you're saying, well, I want to go in to get waves and things like that, or keep some of these short looks. If you're natural, you're really going to have to decide whether or not we need to apply some texturizer on the side, or if you want to do what I call like a quick flash, putting relaxer on the side, and that way it will help to mold and make sure that you keep some longevity in your finger waves. Otherwise than that, I cannot do finger waves when your hair is all natural. That hair is just going to naturally revert back to its natural state and it's not going to lay flat, all right? We can still keep you natural throughout the top, and I can do things with that nature, but as far as if you are short on the sides, you've got to decide whether or not you want a relaxer or a texturizer, okay? Remember, if you're looking at relaxers and you're buying them over the counter, if you're doing this, there is a thio, there is an alkaline, and I could go in more details with them, but the one that you're probably purchasing over the counter is a live relaxer, which means it's much more stronger. So when you guys are doing these services at home, please make sure that you are not over processing your hair. Again, when you do apply a box relaxer or anything of that nature, make sure that you are only applying it to the regrowth. Do not apply that relaxer all the way from the root all the way down to the ends. That's called over processing the hair. Not unless you are a virgin, your hair is completely virgin, never received any type of chemical, then you may want to go into, and if you're doing a relaxer, you can apply it all the way over. Okay, again, remember, a relaxer is just simply meant to relax your natural curl. If you're wanting it to get bone straight, you are completely taking all the texture out of the hair. Your texturizers are meant to smooth and defrizz, and then we also talked about the smoothing treatments that you guys see a lot of times that I'm doing. Again, it just allows my clients to have much more flexibility with embracing their curls, allowing them to have much more flexibility with deciding to let it blow, not letting it blow, but being able to blow dry it and go. Also, it's going to help promote growth, again, because they're hands off. So a lot of times when you see my stylist, well, not when you see my stylist, when my clients, they are coming in bi-weekly and they're not doing any type of services at home, all right? Oh, let's talk about heating tools. I get questions about heating tools. There is a difference. So a lot of times you guys see this plate on this one. This is called a ceramic. This one is one that I highly recommend as far as if you are using a hot tool at home, is using a ceramic plate. And the reason why I say the ceramic plate, because it allows you to have better control of how much heat actually goes to the hair. Now, a lot of times you may see me using a titanium, and you can see the difference in the irons. This one is titanium. This means a lot of times I'm using this type of iron on my smoothing treatments, okay? Also, make sure that you're using a heating tool where you can control the temperature settings on your heating tools. And I think that was about it. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to send me a PM, DM, whatever you guys want to call it. Send me a text. I'll be happy to answer any question. You guys continue to have an amazing Saturday, a great weekend. Continue to stay safe and well. And if you really want to know what's going on here at Miracles Joy, feel free to drop by anytime. We are continuing to practice safety precautions here at the salon, where we are making sure that we continue to do our temperature testing. We are also sanitizing, making sure that we sanitize before and after each client, and making sure that we stay within making sure that all our stylists only have one client at a time. Again, that's all I have for this Saturday. You guys continue to stay safe and healthy. Bye.